Chris Watkin here, joined by the wonderful Clare Hughes, and we're here to talk about work-life balance in a estate agency. Talk to me.
Well, I'm going to talk about it from my perspective to start with, because generally speaking, when people are talking about work-life balance, they're talking about, oh, you can take the kids to school. Well, my kids don't need to go to school because they're in their 20s now. But for me, I wanted to, because of my health issues, which I know we've spoken about before, I didn't want to be running around 8 hours a day. I certainly didn't want to be at a sort of morning meeting in a high street office, that's for sure. So I needed a slower pace of life. So I've chosen to do lower numbers and have more time for me. And that allows me to make sure I'm fit and healthy, as fit and healthy as I can be. I can go out walking the dog, I can do my voluntary work, and I can still make a very good living.
To some estate agents, they would judge you just on your figures, though.
But that's up to them. I mean, it's success is what it, success to one person is, is different to the next person. So, if you want to earn 100k and you're earning 50, then that's failure. If you want to earn 50 and you're earning 60, then that's success.
And are you happier now you've got this work-life balance? Because you're just putting down, how many houses do you put on a month?
A couple, two. Two would be about right.
Okay. Not very many, is it?
No, exactly. So I can deliver a really good service to my clients, really look after them. I can do all the things that I want to do. My father's 90, so I can, there's a caring role there to a certain extent. And it's kind of both ends. And women do tend to get more of the caring roles, whether it's children or elderly relatives. So I can be there for that as well.
Are you happier?
Yes.
And do you think happiness is more important than a right-move pie chart?
I would say it's... What does the pie chart tell you?
It just tells you what market share you've got and how much better you compare to everyone else.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell
okay.
doesn't tell the customer anything.
Are you getting decent fees, and are people having to wait for you?
I'm not at the stage where people are having to wait for me, but that's fine. I get a decent fee, probably slightly above what the corporates on the high street are charging.
Okay. So what would your final piece of advice be to anyone watching this?
What, that's considering self-employment or just considering a change?
Well, let's talk about work-life balance, but of course you're self-employed, so you can bring that one in.
And that's kind of how I see it. I mean, if you want to have a better work-life balance and you're in an employed role, then I would go to your employer and say, look, this is what I think I can, how I can maintain my position with you and enjoy that work-life balance that I want.
So that might be 4 days a week or no weekends or that sort of thing.
It could be later starts. I was talking to an agent last week who is employed, and he works from 9 in the morning. He was still doing a valuation at 7 in the evening, and he said he's not seeing his children. He doesn't mind starting at 12 and working till 9 at night. But I think something's got to give.
Hasn't it?
I do think that COVID has given, when we first went into lockdown, I think people sort of thought, oh, actually, I quite like my family.
And especially now with the way the staffing is that things are at a premium. I think the employees' bargaining power is a little bit higher, isn't it?
In what respect?
Well, let's be honest. People are crying out for decent negs and decent valuers.
Oh yes, yeah.
So therefore, I don't think you should be afraid if you want to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get, do you?
Well, indeed you don't. And there is no reason why you couldn't work more flexibly in our industry.
And still work full-time hours.
And still work full-time hours, absolutely.
Thank you for your time today.
Absolute pleasure.